So that typhoon was a big dud. I guess it passed by the southern tip of the island, so we didn't get anything. It didn't even rain. But today, one of the other foreigners I met here, a buddy of mine, she's like a filmmaker. I don't know what you actually call her title, but she was only here for a documentary. She's been here for less than a year, but the documentary is wrapping up, and now she's heading on to the next country, next adventure. She's not going home, just off to some other place. But we came over to this old neighborhood out by the train station to meet her up at a cafe. I'm gonna give her some like going away present, and I'm also gonna buy an old laptop off of her. She has a MacBook Air she's getting rid of, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I guess while we're waiting for her to show up, I can kind of show you the neighborhood. Just a big temple out in the middle of the neighborhood. Today is also the first day of the ghost month, so I'm seeing a lot of people coming out of their houses and they're setting up tables and putting out like snacks and drinks, and they're burning paper money and lighting incense and all that kind of stuff. There's a whole bunch to be said about the ghost month, and it's a kind of an individual thing. There are some basic guidelines about it, like what it's all about, but when you get into the details, it kind of changes by family. Everybody has their slightly different interpretations of it. So I won't go into the details of Ghost Month, but you can look it up. It's pretty cool. Liam, how you doing?
I guess.
What are you doing?
I just see it on the ground. There's something on the ground.
What's on the ground?
There's squirrel food.
Squirrel food?
Yeah, when you eat it.
Oh, very cool.
Right.
Okay, so I like to be places on time, and to ensure that I'm on time, I usually get there early. So we were supposed to meet at the cafe at 3, and that means I want to be there around 2:45. And because traffic is unpredictable around here, especially in this neighborhood, like it's the worst traffic and the worst parking in the city, I left super early. I ended up getting lucky and hanging around the cafe at around 2:30. So I was like, all right, I'll hang out in the neighborhood, you know, whatever. And then around 2:45, I'll hit up the cafe. At 2:33, I got a message from this girl, and she's like, you know, oh hey, I'm running late, won't be there until closer to 3:30. Like, son of a bitch. Okay, cool, whatever. So me and Liam were just hanging out. So I started shooting the beginning parts of the video you already saw as we were just waiting, right? And then around 3:27, I'm like, all right, getting close, I should be hearing from her any time now. She messages me and says, oh hey, I'm still at this salon, do you just want to come here? I'm thinking, motherfuck, god damn it. She sends me the address, and it turns out that this whole time she has literally been 1 block away from my apartment. Like, if you look at the maps, here's my apartment, here's where she's at. Like, it would take less than 5 minutes to walk. So what the fuck ever, she's about to leave. I'm gonna head over there, and hopefully this doesn't turn into something fucking stupid. I have not owned a Mac computer in a while. Like, the last time I owned an iMac, it was the type that was a little thicker and had a white body. It was still flat, but it was like old school flat iMac with white body. And then the last time I owned a MacBook, it was just the regular MacBook that was also white, you know, and super basic, like had a Core 2 Duo or something like that. So I'm not up to date with like what all the generations of Mac OS and what's the best one, and I have no idea. I guess I'll figure that out. Alright, the operating system is up to date. It's the Mac OS Sierra 10 point blah 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 blah. It's the latest one, whatever that is. I looked it up because I had no idea what's what. Very slowly getting used to navigating the Mac. I also downloaded Final Cut Pro, so this will actually be the first video that I have a chance to try and edit with Final Cut Pro rather than the iMovie app on my phone, which I always use. So far, I record everything with my phone, and then I just edit it with iMovie app on the phone and upload it from there and everything. That's actually part of what the problem is with my uploads lately. It's easy enough to edit in iMovie, I'm used to it, but when it starts dealing with 4K and then it's a lot of large files that have to be trimmed down a lot, and I also have to edit the audio with some of the files like I've been having to do lately. It ends up, I'm assuming, just becoming a little bit too intense for such a simple basic app, because it starts to kind of glitch out. Like the app doesn't shut down, but it basically starts to kind of lose track of what edits I have and have not made, and I have to redo certain edits multiple times and everything else. So that's one problem. The other problem I have is that you cannot upload 4K video from like an iPad or an iPhone or anything else unless you go through iMovie. It turns out that it doesn't matter if you go through the browser and do like desktop version, or if you use the YouTube app, or if you use like the upload option directly from your photos. No matter what you do, it's automatically going to want to put you at 720p, or if you're lucky, 1080, depending on which one you choose. The only way to upload 4K to YouTube from an iOS device is through the iMovie. The problem I was having is that it turns out that I don't know what the cutoff is, like the exact file size, but I noticed that if it was a shorter video, like let's say below 7 minutes or 8 minutes or something, it was closer to 5 minutes, I could upload 4K from iMovie without a problem. But once I started getting closer to 10 minutes or over 10 minutes, it wasn't able to do it. The whole app would crash. Turns out that every time you want to share your 4K video from iMovie, it doesn't matter if you already have the file saved or the project saved or anything else. It doesn't matter. It's going to want to re-export it into like a temporary file, and then it takes that exported temporary file and that's what it uploads. So by the time it was finished putting 10 minutes of 4K footage into its temporary location, once it would flip and try to upload it, I guess it would overwhelm the app and it would just crash. And I tried, first time it did it, I uninstalled and reinstalled the app and it worked fine. Never worked like that again. I've never got it to work. And after dealing with lots of frustrations and lots of issues I was having with the various apps and my Wi-Fi speed here, because that was kind of geeking out, and a few different issues, I ended up saying fuck it, which is why the other video was only 720p resolution. However, now that I've got a laptop and I've got Final Cut Pro, not only should I be able to edit better, but I should be able to upload it in 4K with no issues, and all that stuff should be solved. That's the hope. But we'll find out, because this is going to be the first video that I'm able to do everything on a computer rather than my phone.